Boom, 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 boom. Kind of crazy. This is the first one of 2026. Sooners land a commitment. Wide receiver out of California. That is a pretty big deal. So we're going to dive into that. We'll talk about the measurables like we always do. Look at some film. And I'm going to explain to you why this is a pretty significant pickup for the Sooners. So let's dive into that. Before we do that, welcome to Unfair Sports. I'm your host, Jay. Thank y'all for pulling up to the channel. This video is powered by our partners at BetUS. Check them out. They are hooking up the gamer. 150% bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000 by using promo code YouTube150. So the Oklahoma Sooners get their first commitment in the calendar year 2026, but they've got their fourth of the 2026 class. Daniel Odom, wide receiver out of California. So let's go ahead and look at him. We'll go through the measurables, rankings, all that jazz, and the significance of his pickup for this class. So let's take a look. Here's Daniel in all his glory. 6'2", 175 pounds, out of St. John's Bosco, which is a very, very, very prominent school out there in California. He is rated 4-star prospect, top 250 in the country. ESPN and Rivals has him in the top 200. On 3247, not so much, but the composites have them roughly in the 220 to 200 to 220 range. And the best part about him is that 6'2", 175. And he's a legitimate 6'2". As you can see in the picture here with him and BV, he's tall. As well as even the picture you'll see in a moment of him standing with Jaden O'Neal, as well as Mr. Brady. Daniel has got some game. So when I pulled up the film, your boy got excited. Now, this one came out of nowhere. So Daniel was in town for our junior weekend. And I'm going to be honest, I didn't expect him to commit soon, but I knew that he had kind of cut down his list to Oklahoma, Miami, Oregon, Tennessee, and Texas, and Washington. Those are the ones that were really in the mix of his 6. And it appears that he enjoyed it. Shout out to our guy, Colin Kennedy. He dropped an article on this. Go check it out. I have it in the link in the description below this time. I actually put the link in there. But the big thing with him is he has the physical tools to be able to dominate on the outside. Statistically, he had 45 catches for 682 yards, 5 touchdowns last year as a junior, and he's amassed over 1,200 yards over his last couple years out there at Bosco. And that school is pretty loaded. Pretty good program, and him deciding Oklahoma is his spot is big. So let's look at the film. But first, shout out to our partners at BetUS. They're hooking you up. 150% bonus on the first deposit of $2,000. 125% bonus on your second and thirds by using promo code YouTube150. And Oklahoma right now is sitting at 65-1 odds to win the national championship. Not saying they will, not saying they won't, but I'm telling you the odds are there. And actually a lot better odds than I would have expected. But we'll have a video where we'll talk more in depth about the production that Oklahoma has, because I think that's pretty significant and something to consider. So if you want to get into the action, BetUS will hook you up. 150% bonus on the first deposit, 125 on the second and third. Use our promo code YouTube150, BetUS, where the game begins. So let's look at the film. Daniel can ball. Like, just watching him get the ball on the outside, he finds a way to get open. And he brings you a physical trait that you need. A guy that can not only catch it across the middle, not only a guy that can catch it deep, he can get one-handed catches, he can catch it contested, he can get himself open. That's huge for what we're trying to do. Someone mentioned before that it appears that Emmett Jones has a type, and he's trying his hardest to get the bigger wide receivers, and that's exactly what it seems like. The goal is to get guys in the larger size, because that's critical for what we're trying to do here in the SEC, or I guess in the mind of Emmett Jones. That's what he wants to do. As you can see, EJ we trust. He's rebuilding that room now with a lot of the guys that is shaped to him. So he's getting the combination. He's getting some speedsters. He's getting some height. He's also getting some just ginormous human beings. And I love the fact that we laying hands on a 6'2" wide receiver out of California. What makes it so significant is there's been a lot of talk about our guy, Jaden O'Neal. We'll have him on the show soon, hopefully. That people are concerned and worried that he may not be as locked in because we had offered another quarterback. And I'm here to tell you, I don't believe that. What I'm seeing and hearing from his camp, Oklahoma's locked in on them. They're locked in on Oklahoma. And it appears so because even Jaden O'Neal dropped a picture. You saw that at the beginning of the video of him and Daniel saying that childhood friend, they've been knowing each other since they were young, and he's excited about playing ball with them. Them coming to the SEC together. It's everything you need to know about that situation. And I know that Jaden O'Neal's out there doing a ton of recruiting for the Sooners. But having a weapon like this to be able to chunk it to, oh my goodness, he finds his ways of getting open. Good use of hands. He's very physical. And I think that that's probably one of the bigger things that we could use. And then he's got the ability to, show some finesse by, toe tapping here, catching one-handers there. But he's finding a way to get open in space. And that's what we're going to need going forward. And I see that very well with the young players we have today. I see that in Zion Kearney as he's developing as a receiver. I see that as Ivan Carrion, right? I see that with a lot of the receivers we have. But I think Daniel Odom brings us into the next level in the future that we're going to continue that trend. And so I like what he's bringing to offer. So let me know what y'all think. Hop in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts. And so for the Sooners, he is the fourth pickup for this class. You got him, Jaden O'Neal, Will Conroy on offensive line, as well as Ryder Mix at tight end. So right now you can tell that it's been an offensive focus. And this is one of the first players that has truly been brought in during the era here now of Ben Arbuckle and the way this offense is going to be run. And I think that's one thing that also needs to be really considered with Arbuckle being a West Texas kid, influenced by the air raid. Remember, that's basically where Emmett Jones came from too, right? Spent years at Tech and in a similar type system. I think that they're going to mesh very well in the play call. So now, for me, I'm ready to see what this looks like long term. I feel like the class is going to be developed nicely. We just got to get ourselves another wide receiver because I think that Jaden O'Neal is really going to be out here chasing after the dudes that he wants to go to ball with. So let's keep our eyes open. Let me know what you think. Hop in those comments. Let me know your thoughts. All right. We'll have more players to talk about. Sooners have been getting out a whole bunch of offers all week. This has been travel for a lot of the coaches. They're out visiting recruits across the nation. And so we'll have a lot more players to talk about. Hopefully Jaden can lock in with Mason James here at Norman North, get him to also pull up. Maybe we'll be able to get, a few other prospects to join the class. But all I know is that Jaden O'Neal is clocking in for us. So keep your eyes open. All right. We'll talk soon. Shout out to BetUS. They're hooking y'all up 150% bonus on the first deposit of $2,000 by using promo code YouTube150. And we will chop it up with you all, I don't know, about a day or two. Peace.